Welcome back to the channel, guys, and in this week's episode I wanted to discuss training schedule, specifically my training schedule. Now, you might not be bothered, but it's going to open the door and hopefully give you a bit of an insight on how you can merge strength training and running or any other zone 2 work that you're doing as well. Everyone's different, and I'm not going to say this is the right way to do it, this is the wrong way to do it. I think there's pillars fundamentally through your training schedule in the week which you can abide by to get the best out of your training schedule and best out of your performance. So I'm going to share with you what I do, and hopefully you can learn some bits and bobs from that to take it to your week. Without further ado, let's get into it. So for some context on my training schedule, something that I should obviously let you all know is I am a heavier runner. Now, if you've not already followed many of the videos before this, you will know that I'm a heavier guy and a taller guy. So I'm not going to be plowing my training schedule with loads of running, 100k weeks, because I'm not, I'm not capable of doing that without getting injured just yet, okay? So I want to do my zone 2 work, which is going to benefit me. And in this schedule, you'll see that, okay? So we'll kick off with Monday. Monday for me is a day off, and at a push it will be an easy bike ride, most likely an easy 20 to 30 minute easy ride, okay? When we say recovery, ideally you don't just want to be doing absolutely nothing. You want to be still doing something, ticking over the legs, a little bit of a flush. The reason why I don't do anything on Mondays is because Sunday, which I'll get to later, is my long run day, and I am a strong believer in giving yourself time to absorb the effort that you've put in your hard training sessions. If you are just constantly going over and overwriting what you were doing the next day, you're just building fatigue. You're not actually adapting to the stimulus. So for my opinion, I like to take Monday as a really easy rest day and basically just recover from Sunday, which is in itself a really taxing day. So yeah, Monday for me is like a gentle flush and an easy rest day. Going on to Tuesday. This is where I am at the gym. So for me, obviously my lifestyle, I work at a gym local to me. And so I like to be in the gym, from 6 a.m. in the morning till 3 p.m. God, imagine 3 p.m. From there, I am training clients, I'm busy all day talking to people, doing some online work and stuff, and it's just non-stop. So I'm pretty tired on that day. So I want to do something which is easy, but also something that's not going to impact my speed work on the Wednesday. So I do my upper body, and if I can get it in later on in the day, I'll do some easy mileage like running, just to get my legs ticking over again. So it's upper body strength and easy running on the Tuesday. Going on to the Wednesday, I am pretty free that day. Online stuff, getting back to clients, all this stuff. So it's not too taxing. It's not like the Tuesday. The Wednesday, I can really focus on a hard session day. So that is where I'm going to be doing all my interval work, whether that be 8x1Ks, really hard session. And that is the only session of that day. That is the quality session where I'm trying to maximize my running performance for sure. Okay, so Wednesday, banger in the week, middle of the week, and that's where my quality session is. And I'm not doing anything else other than that one quality session. Now, when we get to Thursday, on Thursday, I have a class that I do in the gym in the morning, so I try to tie that in with me going to the gym again, okay? So my gym days are tied in when I'm actually going to a gym to do one-to-one clients. So I do my lower body strength on that day. That works well for me because also it is after my speed session. So I'm not doing legs prior to my speed work, which is, where I'm trying to get faster, and I don't want my leg session to impede on my speed work. So doing that after my after my speed work, my leg session, is just going to be beneficial. You have to fit it in through the week at some point. So trying to, smartly program it in so it's not impacting quality sessions is the right way to go. So yeah, I'll do my lower body strength on that Thursday when I'm already at the gym to save me some journeys. A typical rule of thumb of training twice in a day, after that first session in, go home immediately, get a good carbohydrate source in, then get some protein in as well. And give yourself about 6 hours in between sessions. That is a good amount of time for you to recuperate and go again, especially if it's another easy day, which typically you're not an easy session, sorry. Typically you're not going to do 2 hard sessions in a day. That Norwegian training method. We're not professional athletes, so there's plenty of time throughout the week where we can get an adequate stimulus, and we don't need to be training like 20-hour weeks, okay? So lower body Thursday, easy running evening. Friday is where I like to do my threshold. Now I can play around my Friday and Saturday, those 2 days. I adjust them flicking back and forth depending on what's coming up over the weekend, because we all have things going on with our lifestyle. On the Friday, I typically do my threshold running or threshold gym work, okay? So that means either I would go, like I said in a previous episode, you can do your threshold in any way. Typically I would try and lean towards running because that's what I'm trying to improve on the most. But at the moment I'm trying to aim for this wild hybrid event. So I do a lot of my threshold in the gym. So that's say, doing 4 minutes on the treadmill, then jumping into 2 wild hybrid sessions and then jumping back on the treadmill for another 4 minutes. That allows me to stay in threshold for a much longer period of time, and I'm getting that quality work in, aiming towards an event, and I'm basically bending the program to what my next event is, so it can be flexible like that. So when Saturday's coming up, I can then obviously, depending if I've done the wild hybrid session on Friday, then Saturday will just be obviously an easy session in preparation for the longer bout of exercise that I'm about to do on the Sunday, which is typically anywhere between 60 to 90 minutes or even longer in some cases if you're training for a bit of a half marathon or something. So yeah, the longer runs take it out of you a lot. So they need to, obviously, you want to be fresh for those sessions. Again, it's another quality session where you might be doing some progression running or, something that's really going to tax you. Like this weekend just gone, I was running with some people who were a lot faster than me, and they ended up breaking into threshold for about an hour. So yeah, it was either side of that. I can rest up, 48 hours of rest, making sure I'm getting easy runs in, plenty of good nutrition to obviously replenish all of that stuff, and you're good to go again. So if we look at the week total, I have 3 quality sessions there, and the rest of them are filled with a lower body strength, an upper body strength, and it's just easy zone 2 when I can fit it in. So we've got the intervals, we've got the threshold, whether that be out running or in the gym, tailored towards the wild hybrid for now, and we've got the long run as well. That is my week in a nutshell, and hopefully you can take a few things away from this and build your own workout plan. Remember, I can sit here and tell you the perfect plan, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the pillars. You want to be making sure that you're not impeding your quality sessions. So you'll notice in my training program, like I touched on before, my lower body session is after, my lower body strength is after my interval day, which I want to improve my speed. If I'm putting my leg session before the speed day, then my speed day isn't going to be as good as it could be. And that's going to be the same, the threshold session, for instance, later on in the week. It doesn't really matter if I've got a bit of a leg session in before that, because threshold isn't asking too much from a high capacity point of view of my top speed, It's not asking me to. Threshold, I can just sit in an uncomfortable pace. I'm not chasing high top speed where, that will get impeded if I did a strength session on my legs the day before. So it's just not ideal programming. So hopefully you took a lot from this video and you can go away and build your own training program. But yeah, thanks for spending the time listening to me go on about my own training program, but hopefully it's helped you a few out there. If you wouldn't mind, obviously like and subscribing to follow along with the wild hybrid journey, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace.